Hey, Chris, how are you? Hey, Chris, tell me if this audio is good. Hey, there's Dan. How's this audio? Because the audio is going through the headphones. And if it's good, I'll leave it. If it's not good, I'll change back to the phone. Hey, guys. So the question is, how's the audio? Is this good audio, or is this... Oh, okay. Thanks, Chris. Then we're going to leave it on the headphones. I've been working. I know, crazy. Just okay? What do you think? Do I go back to the... All right, let's do an A/B. I'll turn it off. Hang on. Okay, this is back to the iPhone. How's this? Better? Headphones or no headphones? Okay, we'll leave it here. Good afternoon. All right, we're good. We're good here. It's all right. Oh, really? So the iPhone, it sounds like the iPhone may be doing some good noise cancellation. Lots of people coming in. Welcome aboard. So if you're new here, there is an admission fee. I'm kidding. A joke. Okay, we're going to leave it like this. That's cool. Yes, good afternoon. Do you prefer Mr. Najafi or Mr. Sani? So, welcome. Happy Sunday. It's that time of the week again. So I was away last week because I was teaching a course in antennas, which I do periodically, and that eats up my whole week, and it eats up weeks before that, and then it eats up about a week after that while I recover. Okay, Sonny. So. Hey, Kentucky, welcome aboard. Yeah, it's pretty cold. We had a couple of cold days. Yesterday we woke up at 7 degrees, and I think it got to a high of maybe 20 yesterday, and then went back down. Today we're going to break 30, so it's like a heat wave. Yesterday we had the fireplace going all day. That was good. We kept it warm in there. But we're enjoying a sunny day, so we have solar panels on the roof. So when the sun is shining, we like to do shop work because we get to eat everything we cook. We get to use up all the electric that we generate, and that's the best economically. That's the best thing to do. If you don't have solar panels, at least around here, when you make electric and you push it onto the grid, you get credited for it. Some places you actually get a check for it. But I'm going to use the term paid. Either way, you get paid at wholesale, but when you use it from the grid, you pay at retail. So there's like a 30% difference in using energy while you make it versus shoving it onto the grid and then pulling it back off the grid. And we have what's called a grid-tied system, which means we don't have any batteries in our system because the economics don't work out. So anyway, we make it. It's kind of a fun game. When the sun is shining, we do laundry, we work in the shop, and that's our little game that we play, but it's been great having solar panels. So let's see what's going on in the shop. So we're just back to the shop. It really has been putting things away from the course, because we bring all sorts of materials and tools and stuff to the course for students to use to build antennas, which is part of the charm. So unpacking from having finished the course is a pain in the neck. Yes, when the sun is shining, turn on some PNA-X. So I'm trying to figure out what that means, and I don't think I know. So fill me in on your acronym. I think you acronymed me. Anyway, so cleaning up, packing up, storing stuff back up on the rack has been most of the week. But now we're back grinding. We're in the shop. Surface grinder's going. I may fire up the vertical machining center and just do a warm-up run on it just to make sure it's happy. Keep it happy and lubricated. Any of you guys see the little video I made this morning? That was the startup sequence for the Okamoto. I had some fun. I did that while I was eating breakfast. And I used Adobe Rush is the software on my iPad. So I completely edited that on the iPad, and that was just a hoot. So if you get a chance, take a look at it. It was fun. So what do you guys got going on? Any projects happening besides just trying to stay warm in Kentucky? Oh, now I'm getting your name. Kentucky. Iron and wood. Nice. I know Chris must be in the shop working. Chris, you get that CNC machine making something yet? Cleaning the machine and electrical work. It sounds like you're really close. Are you waiting for paint to dry? So for those of you that don't know, Chris got a new CNC machine. I guess it's correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, a trademark. And it came from another one of our members. Designed the everything, I believe. So you're probably real close to making that thing sing. If you need any help, if you need any help on the on Fusion and making Fusion spit out G-code, happy to help, Chris. Rough machining parts and preparing them for heat treat. I love it. We know what comes after heat treat, don't we? A little grinding action. Well, cool. So we may have a couple of custom antenna builds coming up in the next couple of weeks. I might be able to show some of it, but there's going to be some design and some machining and electrical, obviously, for the antenna design. I'll see what's proprietary. Usually everything's proprietary, which is why I can't show any of it. So what else are you guys doing? And do you have any questions? If anybody has any cool questions this morning, we'll jump on them. Put them in the little question button down there somewhere if you're on a phone, or just put them in the comments if you don't know what I'm talking about, which happens a lot. So I discovered something that might be useful in the shop that I bought for our course, and I want to show it to you. So let me go grab it. Hey, Conjet.art showed up. How are you? You threatened me that you'd show up. So when we're dealing with HF antennas, we deal with a lot of wires. And in the shop, we deal with a lot of wires in the form of extension cords, and they sometimes can be kind of messy. So I found these things on Amazon. It's a reel that you can you hold the inside handle, and you have another handle like a. Let me do it the right way here, like that, and you can wind up your extension cords. The beauty thing about this is it's like, I think it's $10 or maybe $8. It was very inexpensive, and we're going to be using these for sorting out cables in the shop, cables in the lab. We have a lot of cables, so I thought I would share that with you. If anybody's interested, I'll post part numbers and whatnot on my Instagram feed. So what do you guys? Yeah, it's really nice because cables are, you know, a pain in the neck, especially fine wire, small wire. A lot of times when we're doing antenna work, we'll lay out an antenna and use a lot of wire and then have to coil it all back up, and it's a real pain in the ankle. I started using 3D printer filament spools, of which I have many, and that worked out pretty well. But these things, for the price, are borderline brilliant. So looking forward to getting sorted out and cleaned up with that stuff. So what projects are you guys working on? Mr. Najafi Sani is rough machining parts. I have 8-inch stones to do, 6-inch stones to do, 4-inch stones to do, and 4-inch minis to do. I have a busy day to get caught up. If I get most of that done, I'll be very happy. I'll probably get half of that done. So we're missing Warren. Where's Warren today? Didn't show up for work. Conjet.art is searching for microwave mug recipes. If anybody has any microwave mug recipes, let us know in the comments. University students, you know, they have a particular set of skills. Oh, Dan, so you're getting another instructor and you're no longer going to have one person in an office anymore. That's a bummer. Oh well. Well, good luck with that. So you're in right now. You're in the building right now. Do you get to take a day off ever? Ever? You know, that university that you're working for is a bunch of slave drivers. Yeah. That's okay. As an antenna guy, I'm all for cooking food with radio frequency energy. Yeah, I know. Oh well, Dan. So, no other huge news this week. It's been pretty quiet because I haven't been here. So you guys have the controls. Pick a topic and we'll dive in. I was recently yeah, it's like a tidal wave. So I was just watching. Okay, Chris, you go measure. You measure things. That's part of what we do. We measure things. Write them down. Don't listen to us. What do we know? Any new 3D printed stuff? Actually, yes, I have some new 3D printed stuff. I don't have it handy. Would you guys be... So, Dan, you're getting a new Haas mill to teach with, and you're moving out two tracks. That's a good trade. I like that trade, actually. So if you guys will give me an opportunity, I'm going to run into the other room and grab my bag of show and tell, which I conveniently forgot. So give me a second. Dan will sing us the MIT University theme song. I'll be right back. Did I miss anything? Don't run in the shop. Yeah, I know. The boss man will fire me. Okay, so I do have a story to tell you about 3D printing. The only thing you've memorized. Yes, I'm back. So, as you know, I do a lot of grinding. And because I make all of the PFG stones. And part of the process is we use a lot of coolant. And, you know, coolant has two jobs in life. Coolant is to keep things cool, which I know is weird. But coolant also washes away the chips. And in grinding, we tend to call it swarf. And in grinding PFG stones, it tends to get kind of muddy. So the coolant and the coolant flow is really important. So we use coolant like on any machine, and we use nozzles like on any machine. This is an example of a very wide nozzle. This is not what I'm using. It doesn't have to be that wide, but we're using these nozzles made for the lock line system. So you can see this is their 1/4-inch system. These are the hoses. Hi guys, welcome aboard. And they snap together. There we go. They snap together. So I was thinking, and this is dangerous, I was thinking about a nozzle I wanted to make. This has been going on for a while. And it occurred to me that I just bought a resin printer. So I went to the website for the guys that make Lock Line. Forgive me, I don't remember the name of the company. But if you look at Lock Line, you'll find it. LOC-LINE, Lock Line. And I found their site, and you could I think you could buy, or they'll send you to a distributor, but they have all of their parts, all of the dimensions, all of the spec sheets, and all of the 3D models. So I reasoned that I can download a 3D model, modify it, modify the nozzle to do something special, and then print it out and use it. And so I did. So that is actually not yet a special nozzle. That is a standard nozzle that they sell, that instead of buying for $1.50, I probably spent about, $3.50 worth of resin to print that. However, I printed it. Now the interesting thing is, okay, Conjet, have fun. So the interesting thing is that these things, as printed, seemed a little teeny bit small to me. So I started comparing the printed part to a factory part, and I was really only concerned about the back half. Okay, I was only concerned about this back half. So what I did is I went into Fusion 360 and I scaled the model, and I scaled it plus 2%. And actually, the plus 2% model worked quite nicely. And one of the things that happened is while I was playing with the nozzles that I printed, I cracked them. So here you can see, well, you can see that the nozzle cracked. So this has a couple of things going on. One thing is that this resin is a little bit brittle compared to the plastic that these things are made out of, which is quite resilient. So the first thing I did is I printed relief grooves to maybe reduce the stress a little bit in the plastic. These worked fine, but I still cracked them. So one of the things I did during this whole investigation is, instead of using a Sharpie to mark my parts, you know, I put the nomenclature right in the part. I know this is mirror image, but you can see it. And it was pretty easy to do. And then when I scaled it to a different dimension, you know, I went into the model, and really quickly I was able to change the nomenclature. So this is really hard to lose that data. You can't rub it off like on a Sharpie. So this was kind of fun. So I started getting this 3D printing, you know, resin printing of something like this figured out. But also it was an interesting exercise in downloading the manufacturer's 3D. Can anybody else hear me? I need somebody else to tell me whether Tibor is got a local problem or we have a problem. Somebody give me an audio check. Okay, so Tibor, I'm sorry. Anyhow, so we solved the printing problem. Download model from manufacturer, modify, print. Works great. So the next step is to deal with this cracking issue, because this resin is a little more brittle than this plastic. And I don't know exactly what this plastic is, but I'm sure if we spend a little time on it, we can figure it out. But I ordered a new resin from Formlabs called Tough 1500. So according to their website and their literature, the Tough 1500 is like polypropylene. And if I had a guess, this might be not quite polypropylene. This may be like polyethylene, high density polyethylene. But it looked like the numbers were better with this Tough 1500 resin. So I've got the Tough 1500 resin coming in from Formlabs, and we will attempt to reprint our modified nozzles using the Tough 1500 resin. And I think it's going to work. The other thing that we won't know until we try it is the solvent compatibility with the Tough 1500 resin. Again, based on reading it, it can handle some oils and hydraulic oil and similar pretty well. So this might work out actually quite reasonably. So that is a 3D printing project that is currently going on, and we will eventually have a custom nozzle working, and I'm very excited about that. So I have a Formlabs, and if you guys have any questions, this topic or any other topic, feel free to fire it off in the chat at any time. just checking the grinder. So the other thing that happened that was quite interesting is I wanted to understand the process for changing out the resin on the Form 3 printer. The Form 3 printer has a reservoir. You know, you buy a reservoir of the resin, and when it comes in, you open the top and you drop it in the machine. And there's also the so-called tank, which is the horizontal part in the printer, which literally you're printing through, and it holds you know, half an inch of resin in it. So in my mind, I was concerned that when you change out the reservoir and you change out the tank, that there'll be some residual resin from the previous type that you don't want in your new type of resin. So I got all whipped up about this, and I got online with Formlabs and I did a chat with them, and it turns out that there's a rubber valve on the bottom of the reservoir, and one of the things you do when you put a new reservoir into the printer is you squeeze the valve. It looks like they call it a shark bite, and you make sure that it's working properly. Well, it turns out that is the valve that dispenses resin into the machine, and there's a little lever that comes in and does exactly what your finger does when you test it, and it pushes the little shark bite valve, and the valve opens, and it drops resin into the tray, and the tray has an outcropping to get the resin that this thing is dropping. So the printer itself doesn't have any place where, yeah, it's like the Nalgene bottle, exactly. The printer doesn't have any place for resin to be that's not either in the reservoir or the tank. And you take out the tank and you take out the reservoir. So my anxiety about changing resins is gone, and what I realize is how brilliant the design is. I'm very excited about it now. So yes, and they're aware of that too. Dan says, part of what Dan supervises in his shop there is a bunch of Form 2s, and he had like 1 in 50 tanks. I think you mean 1 in 50 reservoirs, bottles, where that rubber valve isn't cut through. So what they've done is, the new procedure is, they teach you to check it. You know, you pull off the protective cover, you squeeze it, you verify it, and you put it together. So I'm sure they improved the quality of their process, but they also teach you to check it on installation now. So I'm aware of that problem. So I'm pretty excited. So I do have a second flavor of resin downstairs. I have the clear resin, but I haven't tried it yet. And I have to admit, part of why I haven't tried it is I was worried about the cross-contamination problem. So that's been solved and answered. So now I can't wait. So I have my third type of resin inbound, but I'm actually going to use that next. I'm going to try the Tough 1500 and see if we can't make these a little tougher. And I'm pretty excited about it. Hey Arcturus, welcome aboard. Because I have a design up here for a new nozzle that I want to make for my purposes, for grinding the stones. And if it turns out to be a super cool product or a super cool design, after trying it, I'll make it a product, and we'll have some custom nozzles that do special things. So yeah, we'll keep you guys posted. How many of you that are here today are grinder guys and use these nozzles? Is anybody another user of these. I mean, you use them on mills, you use them on grinders, and usually the stock ones are fine. They're great. But I have a couple of things I want to accomplish that is going to take a little clever design to make happen. Anyway, let me know if you're interested. I'll keep everybody posted, but it's a fun project. And the ability to crank out, you know, a pretty much ready to go part from the manufacturer's data and then put it right into use intrigues me. And yeah, it's not cheap. This is way cheaper, but you can get it. You can get exactly what you want, designed the way you want it, and you can get it right now. Well, in a few hours. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. That was a lot of fun. I suspect that the Tough 1500 is going to be the ticket. So we'll find out. It's also more expensive. So it's $149 a liter for this is gray version 4. Okay, this is baby's first resin, and we're doing great things with it. And the Tough 1500, which is polypropylene like, is $175 a liter. So you gotta mean it. You gotta really want it. So we're gonna try it out and see what happens. That's how you learn. So that was my topic of 3D printing. I considered that a bit of a success, and I was very happy about that. While you think about the questions for the next topic we're going to talk about, let me tell you one more story under the heading of 3D printing. Formlabs, who I'm becoming more and more impressed with every time I deal with them, I bought a second build platform, and the build platforms are hollow, and then they got 2 plastic plugs on either side because the interior is not important. That's what has a rough sheet on one side, goes down into the resin, and that's what you're printing on. Well, one of the side, I did a long print, and on my brand new second print platform, the plug popped out. One of the plugs popped out. It was just a friction fit. So I got in touch with them, and they said, yeah, that should not have happened. We're sending you a new one. And just like that, they just replaced the part, and they were very fast about it. And by visual inspection, I think there was a problem in the one that I had the plug pop out. But they responded immediately, and this is a $200 part. And they said, yeah, throw the old one away, here's a new one. I was really impressed. I was very pleased with that. So Formlabs, you did good. All right, well, it's 1:33, and if you guys have some topics, put them in the comments, in the chat. If not, we'll wrap this thing up, and I'll get back to work. Because there's a guy who needs his 8-inch stones really quickly, and they're sitting right there. At least the faces are done. I'm doing another set of 8-inch stones, and then I'm going to get those out. Just like Prusa. Well, yeah, actually Prusa's pretty good about that sort of thing. I have my bone to pick with Prusa on the resin side, but on the filament printer side, I love my Prusas, and they're pretty good guys when it comes to filament printers. I'm intrigued by their new printer coming out. I don't think I'm going to be buying one because I don't think I need it, but they have a multi-head filament printer coming out. I think they're taking pre-orders on it. I think Mr. John Saunders pre-ordered one. Okay. Anything else? Any other stories? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up. Keep it short. All right, guys. 1:35. That's a pretty tight schedule. I think we haven't done one that short in a while. So we'll see you next Sunday. I may have some more stories about new projects in the shop, new 3D printer stuff going on. I will report back. I should have these things printed in Tough 1500, and we'll see how it behaves. I have a feeling that it's going to work out great. Until then, go make something in the shop, do it safely, and have some fun. Take care, guys.